Hi, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you a flourless cornmeal pudding recipe, and these are the ingredients that you'll need. So to get started, I'm melting my coconut milk because it's solidified because it's winter here at the moment. And then the next thing I'm going to do is sieve some fine cornmeal into a mixing bowl, and this will just prevent any lumps from being in the pudding, and also just to make sure there's no strange objects in the cornmeal itself. So to the cornmeal, I'm adding some mixed spice. I'm using cranberries here because I don't like raisins, but if you do like raisins, you can use raisins instead. And to sweeten the cornmeal, I am using date paste. I have a link if you want to make this date paste, or alternatively you can use sugar. And now I'm just adding in some vanilla. You will also need some fresh nutmeg. The last thing I'm going to add to this is just a pinch of salt. My date paste has got salt in it already, so I'm not going to go overboard here and add too much salt. Oh, it's not the last thing. The last thing I'm going to add is the coconut milk. The date paste will darken the mixture, so just keep that in mind if you're planning to use date paste. But date paste is a wonderful, refined, sugar-free, healthier alternative to using brown sugar or white sugar. But it's completely up to you how you decide what you decide to use to sweeten your cornmeal pudding. And then I'm just adding the milk gradually and stirring. And then you'll end up with a nice, smooth mixture like this. Give the cornmeal pudding a taste to see if you want any more date paste or sugar. The recipe is just a guide, so if you like sweet things, you will just add more sugar or date paste at this point. I'm not going to grease my cake tin because this is a non-stick cake tin and I've made it quite a few times and it never sticks unless it's like really hot. But if I leave it to cool, it never sticks to the cake tin. So just pour the mix into your cake tin and then pop it into the oven to bake. This is the cornmeal pudding after 15 minutes. What I do is that I take it out of the oven and I scrape the sides and mix it all up because I don't like the sides being too dry, so this helps the sides not to be too dry. I just scrape away the sides that's already cooking, and that will just go into all parts of the pudding, and your pudding won't be lumpy, trust me. Just scrape the cornmeal, mix it all out, and then pop it back in the oven to bake for the time listed in the recipe. In all honesty, this step is probably redundant, but I'm convinced that it makes the pudding an even consistency throughout. So it's like the same consistency all the way through the pudding. But if you like your pudding to be dry at the bottom or at the sides, skip this step completely. And if you get the same kind of texture, let me know in the comment section. This is my second or third time making flourless cornmeal pudding, and in all the times I've made flourless cornmeal pudding, I always do this. So maybe, who knows, let me know in the comment section if you try it without taking it out after 15 minutes and what your results are. So as you can see, it's completely, the sides have been scraped away and it's in the middle, and I've mushed it out with the back of the spoon, and now I'm going to pop it back into the oven. For the soft top or a glaze on top of the cornmeal pudding, I've got some coconut milk, and to that I'm just adding some coconut sugar and some cinnamon, and I'm just going to mix that all together. And once the pudding is baked, I'm going to pour this on top. This is the pudding straight out of the oven, and I'm just using a knife to go around the sides. If you butter your tin, you won't need to do this, but as I said, I wasn't going to butter it, and I don't think I need to butter it. And now I'm just adding that soft top on top of the pudding. If you don't want to have to be taking the pudding out and adding the soft top. What you could do is just use an extra half a cup of liquid in your mixing step. And lastly, I'm just adding a bit of cranberries and popped it back into the oven for a few minutes, and this is the pudding. If you have any extra liquid, don't worry about it. As the pudding cools, it will set on top and just create a nice soft layer. And there you have it, a soft, moist, flourless cornmeal pudding. The kitchen smelled amazing after baking, and this looked really nice. The recipe and all that you'll need to make this will be in the description box, so do head down there if you want to make a flourless cornmeal pudding. And if you have not subscribed, please do remember to subscribe and to share this video with someone. And let me know if you try this with cranberries as well instead of raisins.